My name is Aaron Lennon.
My name is Carlos F. Puerta.
My name is Jacob Broadus.
My name is Zale Bush.
Project management, audio production, UI UX, game design, and content strategy.
VR AR developer, game systems, networking, and game design.
Project manager, game developer, and game designer.
I'm a VR developer, but I focus mostly on VR interaction design.
It's an asynchronous VR local multiplayer game. With one player in the headset plays the hero trying to burn down the accursed mansion, while the players on PC act as the darkness, trying to snuff out their light. One hero who's going in a dungeon from like room to room, and then all the other players play as ghost, which can spawn and inhabit as monsters to like attack the hero.
This Ludum Dare, we challenged ourselves to put together a networked game, a asynchronous VR game where one player is in VR and other players will be on their mobile phone and or PCs and connected over the internet to play with that VR player. 4 years in VR and the other 2-3 in regular game design.
I've been in game design and development for 3 years.
5 years regular game development, 4 of those years been very specifically virtual reality development.
Over 15 years of audio work, project direction and leadership, and almost 3 years in game design, both VR and non-VR.
I'm obviously never going to be as good as an actual artist, but I can get the general shape done, just not as efficiently and taking a lot more time.
I have a few years of experience in creating 2D, 3D, UI, UX, particle effects, branding, and various other motion media content using Maya, Blender, and the Adobe Cloud. I created a progressively building score that translates the ominousness and the intensity of the game. I wanted an alien, spooky background representing looming doom in the walls of the dungeon with creepy vocals and atmospheric sounds. This builds through more instrumentation where the strings build and become more pulsating with organs and choirs, eventually leading to thunderous orchestral percussion before the epic climax of a double bass drum set with that 8-string heavy metal guitar riff. I also designed all of the sound effects with horrifying vocals signaling pain and jeers, as well as terrifying electronic and orchestral elements, building tension or gratifying object interactions and successful conditions. Foley work of flames, footsteps, chains, and various other ambient and foreground sounds were also specifically produced for this game.
Developed in Unity.
The biggest advantage as a developer, especially a programmer, is the number of other programmers there are in Unity.
I've played around with most of the big ones, Unity, Unreal, even GameMaker for some stuff. I like Unity basically all around just because I'm a programmer and it's very programmer-centric, and so I can do a lot of stuff in Unity. It's very powerful to me. It was mostly just curiosity and boredom that got me started, but after I combined it with virtual reality and other stuff, it really became a passion of mine to work on this stuff, just because I realized the control you could have when controlling and making a world that you can then go into.
Use technology to build experiences that people enjoy, just to kind of enrich your every day-to-day, your minute-to-minute, because we only have a limited amount of time on this earth, and I believe in kind of technology gives us a unique ability to make the most of it.
It's a medium that allows for these much more expanding and involved stories compared to, say, movies or books, and it kind of puts you in a seat as like the player, the person, the dude, as in that game.
What intrigues me beyond playing entertainment-based games is other real-world applications that have purposes through gamification and immersive simulations that benefit otherwise unrelated industries like education or training that can all happen in a safe, affordable, and convenient environment.
I went to the University of Houston main campus and I graduated in computer science. I did do a lot of game programming and game design at U of H through Dr. Yoon's game design courses. And beyond that, I actually ended up doing a research undergrad study where I created an AR simulation using the Microsoft HoloLens. Got to do a AR controlled millibot that would travel through a patient's brain vessels.
I am the current valedictorian of the College of Technology at University of Houston, majoring in digital media with a triple emphasis in gaming simulation, motion media, and e-media, mainly focusing on UI/UX design and having a minor in technology leadership and innovation management. I have received multiple awards in various fields, including gaming, design, and leadership.
4 game jams.
I've done about 6 now.
Around 8 game jams.
The programming team was largely the team that works for Shadows Optional, but outside of that, we met the awesome Aaron. He does awesome sound stuff.
I got introduced to Carlos and Zale through a mutual friend, Jonathan Avila.
I met all 3 developers at the 2018 Global Game Jam, where we were able to work on a VR game together.
I prefer to be able to go somewhere, but if I'm stuck at home, might as well do a game jam.
Luckily, we didn't let the distance affect us finishing this project in a timely and quality manner.
Doing a fully networked game with a bunch of different players and all that stuff is interesting to figure out how does that information have to flow between the computers, and how we set up the systems I created that were designed to work on one computer to figure out how to make those go between computers was a big step and really cool process for me to figure out.
We had to design 2 sets of gameplay and how they would interact with each other. Not only that, we had to have very early on a understanding of how that architecture was going to work in the code so that the networking would be effective and functional.
I had a lot of fun working on the fire effects and then going through and making it dynamically grow and shrink and be more and less powerful.
Producing a score that intensifies with the in-game interactions, creating a great pace and feel for the game.
There was nothing quite like seeing from the top down like a little person, and then over the mics, just hearing our VR player just scream, just being scared mindless about what we're doing. It was great.